So in 2021, we were in that huge growth trajectory, but I started to look at an even bigger opportunity. It was really interesting to see that the gaming technologies like Unity, Unreal, these real-time 3D engines, were actually starting to permeate other industries beyond games. It started with games, but now people in manufacturing were using that to run simulations. Training simulations were created with it. Social networks in 3D, preview of real estate and buildings. The cinema industry was starting to use those engines. So the gaming technologies were truly becoming mainstream. And this pushed a revolution, at least in the advertising space back then, which was the metaverse. The metaverse starting to become the buzzword of the end of 2021. Facebook rebranding into Meta really pushed that into the mainstream. And because we were in the advertising industry, a lot of the brands, a lot of the clients that we had started to ask us about the metaverse. They saw the metaverse as the next step beyond what we were already doing, which was product placement inside games. So how can we take that to the next level? How can we build full branded experiences that their users will be able to enjoy? Not just a sponsorship in an existing game, but full-on experiences that would be branded and created by the company. So we started to have all these requests from some of the largest brands in the world. And this really forced us to look deeper at the opportunity. So at that time, I started to realize that the technology that we had built to monetize games could actually be a much broader application as infrastructure to monetize the metaverse, which is a much bigger market, or at least was going to become a much bigger market. So after a few months of analyzing the path forward, we decided to move towards that blue ocean of opportunities and acquired a studio that already had experience building in the metaverse and rebranded the company into Landvault to jump with both feet into the Web3 space, the metaverse space, and become an end-to-end solution, a suite of tools for creators to build, deploy, and monetize their experiences. So we were expanding from just the monetization angle inside games, which was making us an ad tech company in games, to a broader infrastructure company for the next phase of the internet. So this was the biggest bet that we had made so far. Obviously, we had a growing business. We had raised a lot of money on a different story. We had to get all the investors on board to tackle this new industry, this new thing, which was very unproven, right? It was the very beginning of the metaverse. There was no clear business model for the metaverse. And this is why we acquired the studio, because they had found a way to make money in the metaverse. And that way was to create experiences for brands. So our thinking then was monetizing experiences, which we knew how to do. That's great. But you need the experiences to be live, and you need users in them to be able to monetize them. So what is the best way to accelerate the growth of those virtual worlds is to have a studio to build it ourselves and capture money in the process. So that's what we did. This is the story of how Admix became Landvault. This acquisition actually panned out in June 2022. And since then, it really set the company on a completely different journey.